missing someone. Love is all you want.
Hello, welcome back. It's Angelina Manukian, and we're going to continue on with The Fault in Our Stars. Now we're going to be summarizing chapters 16 to 20. This is a school assignment, and it is a 5-video series, and each one will be summarizing 5 chapters, and it'll be a little more than half the video reading and summarizing it to you. Then the rest I have to make it 10 minutes. Then that's going to be the time I have left to give my commentary and opinion on it. So let's get started. So Hazel gives us a rundown of a typical day with late stage Gus on page 234. And Gus tells Hazel that he is trying to write her a sequel to An Imperial Affliction, which is her favorite book. But most of his days and nights are devoted to eating, often throwing up after eating, and sleeping. They lie in bed together and play video games until nighttime, at which time Hazel goes home to return the next afternoon. That's just how their daily routine is. On a morning about a month after they return from Amsterdam, Hazel arrives at Gus's house to find him still in bed. And it was so bad to the point where whenever Hazel went to Gus's house one time, she found him wet the bed, mumbling and talking about it, and Hazel just is like, I don't want to deal with that. So she lets his parents know and deal with it because she doesn't want to be anywhere near that. So once he gets changed, they play video games together, and Hazel acts like there wasn't anything going on so she doesn't make him uncomfortable. She doesn't bring the attention to him because that's not gonna be bad and that's gonna embarrass him, and she doesn't want to make him feel embarrassed, so she's not gonna bring it up, and I feel like that's really sweet. So after a while of awkwardness, Gus brings up the fact that he always wanted to have a special obituary in the newspapers when he died. This angers Hazel, and she tells him that she feels like she can never be enough for him, bluntly adding that he is never going to accomplish those crazy things he wants to be remembered for. And then a few days later, Hazel gets a call from Augustus in the middle of the night. She gets scared that it'll be something saying that he died or something, or he's in danger. But when she answered it, it's Augustus' voice. Gus is stranded at a gas station. For some reason, he snuck out to a gas station with his G-tube. And she finally leaves to pick him up. When she pulls up to see him, she finds him covered in vomit. Hands pressed to his red, infected-looking stomach with his G-tube attaches. And then he finally tells her the truth, saying that he went out looking to buy a pack of cigarettes so that he can do something for himself than anything else. Hazel starts to feel bad and apologizes, and then calls 911. While they wait for the cops to arrive, Gus cries tears, hitting the steering wheel and moaning that he is disgusted with himself. Hazel grabs him and attempts to comfort him with reality, telling him that there are no bad guys in life, not even cancer. She recites another poem for him, and when it ends too soon, she continues it with her own words, making the poem about their life and thoughts. And I think it's really sweet that she continued the poem off of an experience that she's been through and a cancer poem, because they're both going through that. And Augustus's dad also wants to thank Hazel for retaining a feeling of normalcy and personhood, because that's what Augustus told his dad, how much of an effect she had on him so positively. So Augustus' dad wants to say, thanks, Hazel. Hazel tells the reader that was the last good day I had with Gus until the last good day. You can find that on page 252. And if you don't understand, she explains that the last good day is the concept that just before dying, people will have a day in which they feel emotionally and physically back to their old selves. The problem, she explains, is that there's no way to know if a good day or your last good day is until there are no good days after it. Hazel had taken a day off from visiting Augustus now sometime between a month and 2 after their trip to Amsterdam, but gets a call from Augustus asking her to meet him that night at the church while a support group is held with a eulogy. Hazel's parents are like, no, I'm not letting you go, but Hazel convinced them, so she went. The reason that they didn't let her go is because they felt like they don't see her anymore since night and day she's with Augustus and Gus. They argue that they felt like they never saw her anymore, and they got angry when she spoke back at them, so they're like, what changed about you? Why do you get so mean? So Hazel goes back to her room with her eulogy for Gus, and when she comes out to leave, and her father tells her she can't leave without permission, so she made a deal. If you let her go, she'll be home every night instead of staying over to those people's houses, starting very soon, which causes them to let her go. When Hazel arrives at the support group room in the church, she finds Augustus sitting in a wheelchair and standing at the lectern about to speak. And so much sad stuff happened recently, so they bring up Augustus's and Hazel's favorite books. Author has told them a quote, and it really stuck to their heart. So then I'll just tell you what the author wrote. The author told them that some infinities are bigger than other infinities, and she's grateful for the little time that their infinity had together. It makes sense in some ways, but only in some ways if you try to grasp it, and I found it really cute. I like this chapter because it was more sad and people could give out their emotions, and I thought their cancer was getting worse since they kept on throwing up, and Gus was picked up from a gas station with vomit all over them, and then someone wet the bed at night, but Hazel didn't bring it up so that no one feels embarrassed. And I feel like this book is a very comforting book, and you should have a friend like Hazel or like Augustus, a friend that can take care of you. Because I know each person in this book has a comforting presence, a comforting heart. And I'm also very happy that there's still people like this in our world, even if it's a very few. I heard people also think that Gus's embarrassment at wetting the bed is also another example of a mix of childishness and early adulthood. And I feel like that's very right, but it's not going to be that easy to just get over it, and it's going to be difficult. And I feel like everyone in this chapter was going through a serious illness, and it's going to be difficult to get over, especially now that we're going to the end of the book, because we are almost done with this, because we're done with these 5 chapters, 16 to 20, and we only have 5 more chapters to summarize, and that's 21 to 25, and that's the ending of the book. So I'll try to not stutter when I read that, so you guys can get the full experience of the emotional roller coaster book. And I also say that if you guys don't want to read this full book, watch the movie too, because it's a really good movie. I just like the book more because it lasts longer. And I've also felt like a few days before you die, you'll get a feeling, or you'll get like you live a good life. I don't know, but I feel like there will be a few days before you die, a sign or something, but I thought that was only me. So let's recap. This is the 4th out of 5 videos for my school project, and my school project I have to summarize Fault in Our Stars 5 chapters, and I have to give my commentary at the end of the video. If you guys have any questions or any concerns, just re-listen to this video and the ones before this so that they can all connect. And if you're watching this for the first time, watch the 1st, 2nd, 3rd video before this so you can understand, because I feel like you'll like this book.